Okay, by the way, if you connected to Google Plus account, you can also ask questions and I can give you answers. Now I have enabled the questions and answer section. Okay, you can ask if you log in into Google account, you can ask questions. By the way, right now I can see that 5 people connected and watching online. I would like to learn their names. If you are watching on Google Hangout account, you can see the questions and answer section so that you can ask questions. If you are watching on YouTube, you can write your name below the screen as a command, or you can send me an instant message on Schoology so that I can know that who is watching me. Right now we have 8 people. Yeah. Wow, the rating is increasing. Okay. Today I'm in London, a Turkish house, a friend of mine. And by the way, I have watched your almost all YouTube videos which you have submitted. Some of them perfect, some of them normal. But overall, it's okay, and I would like to thank you because you submitted. And as I said, I would like to learn who is watching right now. You can send a message on Schoology so that I can know. Or you can make a command on YouTube. Or you can log in your account so that I can know. Yeah, the first person right now, I'm announcing who is watching, Mesut. Hello, Mesut. And Tuba Erkaç. Okay, so it means we have 2, but actually I can see that 12 people right now is watching the broadcasting. Okay, I'm waiting and expecting more people. There should be normally 30 people, but as I said, I would like to learn as much as possible. Okay, now what we are going to do, first of all, I would like to mention the last week assignment about blended learning and flipped classroom. I think everyone has a general idea about what's blended learning and flipped classroom. And basically, if we frame the phenomena of the blended learning is half face-to-face traditional education and the half online technology for the teaching and learning. And flipped classroom is a branch of blended learning. Before the lesson, the teacher or instructor or the lecturer, whatever you call it, share the materials, especially the videos or some core materials to teach the lesson before the lesson, face-to-face lesson, and students have a chance to prepare themselves and in order to understand the subject better before the prior to the lesson. And then during the course time, during the lesson, they have some other activities and they have practices. Yes, we have one more participant, Fatma. Okay, right now we have Tuba, Mesut, Fatma. Okay, I'm expecting for the other names. What was I saying? Yeah, so flipped classroom is a kind of action, real-time activity for blended learning. And so our aim is to develop our understanding and our philosophy how to develop flipped classroom in terms of teaching English as a language, as a foreign language or second language. So these are main targets. Right now, I can see that we have 13 people watching. Okay. Now I would like to start my presentation. Okay, one more. Bushra is also here. You're welcome, Bushra. Okay. Now I would like to share my screen with my presentation. We have another one, Esra. Okay, Esra, you're welcome. Anyone else? And Kadirjan. Good. Okay, as you see, the future of e-learning lies in collaborative creativity. Yeah, those terms could be a little bit confusing. The future of e-learning doesn't based on just some technological devices or improvements, but especially it lies in collaborative creativity. This is actually an old presentation which was presented Professor Steve Molnix about, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. I would like to share some ideas. Okay, Humaira is here as well. You're welcome, Humaira. Let's see some details. We are living in a society which is connected very well. And in this society, every day we are using more and more things of internet. All devices connected to the internet. And we are divided, we are very stick to those devices, even when we are in bed, even when we are having lunch or waiting in a bus line, or unfortunately sometimes while we drive, we use the technology and those devices. Okay, what was it like about 80 years ago or 100 years ago? For example, Thomas Watson said in 1943 about computers. He made a comment about computers, and he said, I think there was market for maybe 5 computers at that time, which is very weird because Thomas Watson was an important person in that period of time in the world. And for example, Bill Gates also made a prediction in 2004, and he said by 2006 spam mail will be a thing of the past, but unfortunately it's not a thing of the past. We're currently having lots of problem. Okay, we have another participant, Kadriye. You're welcome. And another prediction, who the hell wants to hear actors talk? Which is a comment about the invention of the television. Okay, and those are the people influencing people, effective people. And also we have Bushra. You're welcome, Bushra. So those people have had some predictions about the future, about the technology specifically, but unfortunately it's wrong. And Gülfem is here as well. Gülfem, you are late. Okay. And Western Union in 1826, and a comment about the telephone. This telephone has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. You know, the Western Union was the foundation or company who was maybe the first or pioneer companies for telegraph. And at the time, they have made a prediction about the telephone, but of course it was totally wrong. So what's the role of teachers or educators in this age? According to Steve, the real aim of this age, let's see. The real aim of this age, the role of the educators is not to try and predict the future, but to prepare our young people for the generation, and by doing so, shaping the future. Okay, let's see the evolution of computers, power and cost. Okay, by the way, we have another guest. Nur is here. Okay, and also Gülfem is here. Good. Okay, as you see, the evolution of computer power cost, and here the brain power, okay, and the equivalence of the computer, their prices when we compare it, as you can see, let's see, about 70 years ago, in 1950s, 1940s, in those years, an average computer, which was amazing at the time, was a high technology. At that time, it's so expensive. But today, the power of the computer, when we compare with that old one, is much more powerful, but less expensive, as you see, and it's very close to the functionality and the power of the human brain. When we compare the old computers, it was like the manual calculation. So when the time passed, when the years passed, we can clearly see that the efficiency of the computer increased, but the price decreased. So in other words, the unit cost of computing is 100 million times less expensive than 50 years ago, which is amazing. Okay, and especially when we use the other devices, the multimedia devices and the media, we can reach lots of different things. So especially as I gave this example last week, with the development of the web technology, 20 years ago we were using the web 1.0, but now we are using web 2.0, and it's much more convenient, and publish content and user-friendly access is quite different. Okay, so as you see, those are the some terms in the age of the educational technologies or social media, such as Wikimedias, blogging, social networking, avatar. Okay, those are the new terms which we don't know about even 15 years ago. And there's another comment. Children today can do things that children 15 years ago couldn't have imagined. And right now, today, dear friends, most probably we will use some technological devices 15 years later. Right now, we cannot imagine. Even we cannot imagine. It's amazing, isn't it? And of course, it was a joke, but it's reality. Now the kids and their heads in the cloud, which means the cloud in computer systems, almost everything right now, the huge size of the files we can share on the internet and we can store on the internet. And active users of the internet each day is developing right now, as you may know, almost 1 billion people actively using the Facebook. And the tweets also, each day, not thousands, actually millions of tweets publish, and increasing usage of the YouTube and other social networking. So as you know, those things give us the idea why we need to use technological devices or technology in order to develop our teaching. And Wolfram Alpha is another interesting web page and is a service like a Google. I highly recommend you, each of you, please visit the excuse me, Wolfram Alpha web page and understand how it works. Like the Google, you can ask some questions, but Wolfram Alpha use a different formula, different mathematical formulas in order to give you much more detailed and real, close to the real answers with the facts and numbers. So it's one of the, you can consider as an assignment of the week. Wolfram Alpha, please find and learn how it works. Wolfram Alpha. Okay, some other social landscapes. Actually, each day there are tens of, maybe hundreds of different social networking web pages or platforms are in use. So this is amazing. Okay, let's see this graph. Technological innovation and what? Student expectation. Okay, as you see, in 1995, technological innovation was here. And in 2011, technological innovation here. But at the same time, student expectations increased a lot, which means the expectations of the students, which we need to give great importance in order to develop our teaching, in order to develop our education system. Hang on a minute, please. So we cannot dismiss, we cannot ignore the student expectations and the technological innovation. Okay, right now we have 20 people watching us. Okay, it's good. And I'm expecting you also ask some questions on Google Hangout accounts, which you need to do. What you need to do, basically, you need to log in on Google, Gmail, then Hangout. And when you click the link which I shared with you on Schoology, you will see some questions and answers section. And ask your questions so that I can see your questions. Let me check if there was any question. Okay. So innovation in education, what does it mean? Let me check any question right now. Any question? Is there any question? No question right now. I'm expecting you ask questions. All you need to do is on the left side, most probably you will see a Q&A sign, question and answer, and ask question if you have any, or we can make a trial. Okay. Okay. Now let's see the screen again. Hi again. Innovation in education, yes. Okay, innovation in education. First of all, we need a vision, of course, as a school, as a university. And in order to develop your innovation, we need to decide our policy, and we need to follow a map. So in order to get a promote positive change, we need to increase effectiveness. To what be of benefits to the students. And what about the innovation and the automation? For example, when we change the teachers with the robots, do you think that it will be a solution in terms of the using the technology and in terms of the teaching problems? Yes, I'm asking you right now, if you replace the teachers with the robots, okay, teacher robots, let's say, do you think that we can sort out most questions or main problems in terms of the teaching? Okay, yeah, one of the questions asking me why don't broadcast the lesson in a landscape? Yeah, it's a good question, but the internet connection is the first priority, Berat. So if you'd like to see the outside, I can show you, but you know, it's just the streets. Let me show you at least the street for you. But there is no landscape, but at least a street from London. Okay. Okay, now you see a street in London. As you know, it's not a city center or a touristic or attraction. Just prove that I'm in London, okay? I'm not sitting in at home in Antwerp, right? Okay, let's continue the lesson. Okay, here we go. Okay. Any questions so far? Let's see. Okay, no question. Okay, so we were talking about innovation and automation, and I'm also open to any answers about the subject. Okay, and by the way, innovation What's innovation? Let's see the definition. Innovation is introducing something new, especially bringing the change, bringing new strategies or methods, okay, for working, teaching, learning, or producing. So innovation is important. Innovation. So the first thing which I ask you to learn, the Wolfram, the web service, and the mentality of the Wolfram. Remember? Okay. Let me show you again. Wolfram Alpha. And the second thing which I want you to learn is innovation. Okay. So in all times, the pedagogical approach, the teaching philosophy was different, quite different, especially in the Western world, because the content or the center of all the courses or the source of the information was only the teacher or the preacher. But today, we are trying to make different the center of the course or the lesson, especially different approaches such as student-centered approaches, such as critical pedagogy, such as to teach or to learn collaborative group studies, so that we can improve our education and the education system in general. So computer technologies, especially after 1990s, with the invention of the internet and the wide usage of the personal computers, has enabled us to use those devices in our daily lives, so that we can access any kind of information easily, and we can learn almost anything instantly. So what's next? The next thing is we have lots of sources. We can access many different information, but the problem is we need to combine and we need to make some inferences. We need to understand and we need to develop those ideas and informations. Do you remember in the first weeks we have talked about data, especially in the first term, we have talked about big data. Do you remember? I'm sure that some of you at least remember the big data. Each day, thousands or millions of terabytes new information adding each day to those big data, because all the technological devices, CCTV cameras, and the other technological devices collecting different information all around the world. And we need more and more people each day to analyze, to evaluate, assess those big data, those information. So what we need is new models for technology to use in education. Okay, so let's redefine first of all, and then we need to make some modifications. Okay, and then augmentation, and then substitution. We will talk about those terms later. Okay, and what I would like to share with you also, okay, here is a lesson model. Okay, and as you see in the first one, the first section, a lesson without graphics okay, and the other one is with the graphics. Simple example, same formula, same special numbers, okay. I think it's a kind of physics or biology maybe experiment. The only difference is the graphics. You add some graphics, okay, some fire and weight, etc. But the impact is totally different, because when you add some graphics, it will change the engagement and the learning. Okay, so learning experience, which means the exchanging, for example, one technology for another, and learning engagement change, and the learning experience, when you have some effective or deep learner experience, the engagement increase. The more activities you put, the more experience you offer in your lesson, the students will learn better. So in this area, with the usage of the technology, learner experience and learning engagement are connected to each other. By the way, I can see that some of you are sleeping, some of you playing with the mobile phone, and some of you eating or drinking. I know you are doing, but yes, you can do it because you are at home, so no problem. Okay, we have some questions. Zainab asking, Wolfram Alpha, in what ways we can use? I didn't understand. Okay, actually, this is the question I am asking you. By the way, Zainab is here as well, the MSG. I want you, actually, most probably I will put an assignment about this, so that you can prepare a maybe short introduction about what is Wolfram Alpha, because it's very useful web service. Okay, so you can Google it basically, Zainab. And yeah, Gulfam has a comment: innovation in education will be helpful in losing our jobs in future. Not losing, but I think to get paid better, I think, if you know how to use it. Okay. Okay, Beat says that she's in a different lesson and she's watching at the same time, which is great. What can I say? Okay. So let's finish that part, and I will make a summarize. Okay, let's see. So learning experience is related to usage of the technological devices, because in today's classrooms, students using their mobile phones, their tablet PCs, and at the same time the other technological devices. And if we cannot convert the aim of these devices in terms of, especially during the lesson, if we cannot put them into our teaching philosophy or methodology, we will not be able to tell or teach anything to our students. As you know, I ask you to put your mobile phones on my desk before the lesson. That's why I'm doing, because the engagement is getting very difficult. And enrich, okay, using technology interactively and with a wider range of teaching resources and methodologies, so that we can enrich the lesson. Okay. And as you see, almost in all fields, I mean, for all the lessons, there are some apps As you know, there are more than millions, maybe 1 or 2 millions of applications in Android, Google Market, or in app stores. So almost anything, or almost anything which you cannot even imagine, there is an app, there is an application. So why not we don't develop some applications for teaching English to the students to make it more enjoyable and useful, your lesson, your content. For example, you see this application for the piano, right? Easy to learn. You don't need a huge, big piano to learn how to play. Or another application for music mixing, okay? Another application for classroom management, as you see on the right top corner. And a great application for the biology classes. You can see a 3D dimension body, a human body. You can see all the details, even which is very difficult to see all the details when you use your bare eyes with the dead body. But here you can explore any details of the human body. Other application about the graphics or physics or mathematics, okay? And here, a great application for aviation, to learn how to fly a plane, which is great. Okay, and enhance is another keywords. Deeper and more flexible learning through the use of ICT and community resources. Okay, enhancement means making the lesson flexible, okay, and more content, okay, as you see, lots of different contents, and you are doing flexible. Right now, for example, you can access the course without attending. And extend, okay, significantly changing the way the teaching and learning, okay. As you see, for example, there are some applications assessing or calculating your calories, your steps, your walkings, etc. And empower. Empower, the learner takes the control using the ICT, the computers, technological devices, research, create, and share, and also collaborate. Let's imagine that in a normal classroom, you give an assignment to your students. They need to research, they need to create, and they need to share, and they need to collaborate. For each item, maybe they need to meet to each other in order to share, in order to collaborate. And they need to spare many hours for the transportation, for meetings. But right now, research, create, share, and collaborate. It is possible even with your mobile phones. For example, as I mentioned before, iTunes U is a great application which you can access the world famous worldwide universities lectures. And such as, for example, iMovie or iPhoto, you can create original clips or short movies with your pictures or videos. So let's remember all the steps again, and I will finish the course for this week. Okay, exchange, enrich, enhance, extend, and empower. Those are the main steps for learner experience and learner engagement. Okay, I think this is enough for this week's lesson program. I would like to, yes, hello again. I would like to use this platform again in the future, not next week. I hope you find it easy to follow. As I shared the links, you can also watch this lesson on YouTube as well as an online course. And I will put assignments on psychology. By the way, I'm just checking if there is any questions. Okay, let me check. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask right now. If you ask anything from London, I'm coming tomorrow, by the way, and I will be in my room hopefully in Friday. Okay, there are some comments. Eda Yener made some comments. Okay, about Wolfram. Okay, keep the answers with you, Eda. Yes, I know Zainab. I've seen your name. Okay, any question right now? Okay, no question. Are you sure? Okay. So, it was a pleasure for me to talk with you about innovation in education. I'm keeping short because I'm a little bit short of time right now, and also I have made a summary. I will put the presentation on psychology as well, and I will put a new assignment for next week. Thank you. Take care of yourself. See you at Zirve. Bye-bye.